Have you ever wondered why some candidates who are technically brilliant still fail in interviews? They know the concepts, they solve the questions, they even have good resumes, but somehow they still don't get the job. Meanwhile, someone with average technical skills walks out with the offer letter. So what's really happening inside the interview room? Today we will uncover 3 hidden factors that most candidates completely ignore but interviewers instantly notice. Let's get into it. The first one is why technically strong candidates still fail in interviews. Most candidates think interviews are knowledge tests, but interviewers are not only testing your knowledge, they are evaluating risk. Let me explain. When a company hires someone, they are not just hiring a skill, they are investing time, salary, training, and team trust. So the interviewer is asking themselves one question: can I trust this person to work in my team? And now here's where the technically strong candidates sometimes fail. They focus only on giving correct answers but ignore how they communicate their thinking. For example, an interviewer asks a problem. The candidate immediately starts writing code or explaining a solution without clarifying anything. Technically, it may be correct, but the interviewer might think, does this person collaborate? Do they ask questions? Do they understand the problem fully? Another mistake strong candidates make is overconfidence. Sometimes they rush answers because they assume they already know everything. Instead of showing curiosity, they appear rigid or dismissive. And remember, companies don't want someone who is smart. They want someone who is coachable and collaborative. So even a brilliant candidate can lose points if they don't show clear thinking, communication, and openness. That's the first hidden factor. Next up, we have some subtle behavioral signs that make interviewers hesitate. Now, this part is interesting because many candidates don't even realize they are doing this. Interviewers observe micro behaviors during the conversation. Not what just you say, but how you say it. Here are few signals that make interviewers hesitate. First is the lack of clarity while speaking. If your answers are scattered or you jump from idea to idea, it creates an impression that your thinking is so scattered. Even if you know the answer, the interviewer might struggle to follow your explanation. Second comes defensiveness when corrected. Sometimes interviewers challenge your answer intentionally, not to prove you wrong, but to see how you react. If you immediately become defensive or try to argue aggressively, it signals difficulty in accepting feedback. Companies want people who can adapt, learn, and improve. Third comes low engagement energy. If your tone is flat, your responses are short, or you seem uninterested, the interviewer might interpret that as low in motivation. Remember, interviews are conversations. Showing curiosity and engagement signals that you are actually cared about the role. Fourth comes the lack of ownership in past experiences. When a candidate describes past work life like this: we were given a project and the team handled it, it becomes unclear about what you actually contributed. Interviewers specifically want to learn about your actions, decisions, and your impact in the team. These small behavioral cues give an overall impression to the interviewers, and interviews are often based on impressions more than answers. Now let's talk about the most powerful moment in any interview, the first 5 minutes. Psychologists call this the primary effect. The first impression heavily influences everything that comes after. If the interviewer forms a positive impression early on, they will subconsciously start looking for signals to support it. How do you control those first 5 minutes? Step 1 is to start with a structured communication. When they ask, tell me about yourself, don't just ramble randomly. Instead, use a simple structure: your background, your key skills, your current focus, and your goal. For example, you can say, I am currently a final year student specializing in data analysis. Over the past year, I have focused on developing strong skills in Python and business analytics, and I am particularly interested in the role where I can use the data to support the business decisions. This immediately signals clarity and direction. Step 2 is asking thoughtful, clarifying questions. If the interviewer gives a problem, pause briefly and ask something just to confirm: should I optimize this solution for the time complexity or readability? This shows structured thinking and collaboration. Step 3 is think aloud. Interviewers want to see your reasoning processes. Instead of solving a problem, explain the thought process. Say things like, let me break this problem down. One possible approach could be, another option might be. This makes the interviewers feel included in your thinking, and it also allows them to guide if you go slightly off track. Step 4 is to show curiosity about the role. Near the end of interview, ask meaningful questions such as what qualities make someone successful in this role, or what challenges does the team currently face. This signals that you are not just looking for a job, you are interested in this job. Now comes the final part. Interviews are not simply proving that you are smart, they are about demonstrating that you are someone others would enjoy working with every day. So remember these 3 things. Even strong candidates can fail when the focus is only on the knowledge and ignore communication. Next comes small behavioral signals that can influence interview decisions more than you think. And last, not the least, the first 5 minutes of the interview can shape the entire outcome. So if you learn to manage these moments intentionally, your interview performance can change dramatically. So if you found this helpful, subscribe to the channel for more such insights on career, interviews and professional growth. And in the comments, tell me what is the toughest interview question you have ever faced. I might break it down in the next video. Until then, keep learning, keep improving, and I will see you in the next video.